Clem. Fuck me, Clem. Come on, Clem. Fuck me, Clem.
Fuck me, I'm late. I've got to do some little bastard's party. I need to kit up.
Welcome to Second Class Cinema, the show where we watch a B movie and immediately discuss. I'm Tom. I'm here with Brittany, Eric, and Tyler.
Hi, Brittany, Eric, and Tyler.
Hello.
Hey guys, my three most beautiful friends on the face of the earth.
Aw,
Thanks,
that's so
man.
sweet.
You shouldn't have.
I didn't.
Well, how's everyone doing tonight? Doing well?
I'm doing great.
Pretty good.
Yeah, not
Can't
bad.
complain.
Great.
First time back in the studio for a little bit. We took a little break after that Neil Breen experience.
Yes.
We need to
That was
regroup,
long, so yeah, we took a little bit.
reevaluate our lives.
I don't envy you.
You really shouldn't.
So tonight we watched all three Neil Breen movies in a row.
We did it again, guys. No. We actually watched the 2012 movie Stitches. And it was my pick. I picked it, guys.
Why'd you pick it, Tommy?
Well, because this is actually going to be, this is October 1st, right? Right now?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is
today.
October 1st.
October 1st. Today.
And that marks October, where we're going to do nothing but horror movies for the entire month.
All horror, all the time.
So it's going to be horror movie month here.
This sounds scary. What if there's a ghost?
There will
Well, don't worry,
definitely be a
Eric.
ghost.
So far, there hasn't been Eric.
Thank God.
What are you talking about? There's been a kind of actually. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he was a ghost.
Ghoul? A zombie?
Cool. Yeah, that's probably better. That's probably
A
better.
ghoul?
But yeah, horror movie month starts with my pick, Stitches, and I picked this movie because we've watched it before, a couple times I think.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler, you had never seen it.
I've never seen this movie. This is the first time I've seen this movie.
Yeah, and this was recommended to me from my Uncle Ben, who loves these movies. And
Thanks, Uncle Ben.
He's got good taste. And
Good
we watched
rice.
This. He's got good taste. He's got a great rice.
We figured out Tom's Spider-Man as well tonight.
And I'm Spider-Man.
Thank you and good
Every
night.
Uncle Ben sort of cliche you could possibly think of.
Second class.
Communication breakdown.
But yeah, he recommended it, and it was a good time.
It was great.
So we decided to watch it here, and it's about a killer clown who comes back. Well, I guess he didn't start as a killer clown.
He was just a shitty clown.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
This is a terrible claim.
Hold up.
He cuts the crap.
Yeah. Oh. So he's just a bad clown. He goes to a kid's party, and the kids aren't really having it. They're a little too old for clowns. Something awful happens. Terrible accident. He dies. 6 years later, he comes back from the dead to kind of seek his vengeance out on the teens.
Yeah.
That's
about
pretty
right,
much the
yeah.
base of what it is.
Yeah.
And we've been actually watching a lot of teen Scream movies lately.
We have. We've been rolling through the 90s.
Yeah, we watched
90s teen screams.
Faculty. We watched I Know What You Did Last Summer. I think we recently watched Scream. So these kinds of movies, these slasher flicks.
I wasn't invited over for any of these. How come I couldn't come over and eat all your food?
Sorry, man. We just keep it rolling here. Yeah. So that's what it's about. What do you guys think?
I enjoyed it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I think it is the height of absurdity.
Tyler, first impression?
Man, that fucking movie is over the top.
Over the top. Good way to put it.
Starring Sylvester Stallone about arm wrestling.
Okay, you clowns, cut the crap.
Do we want to go into successes here?
Yes. I
Yes.
actually have something to say about that.
Let's talk about that.
Because at first I wrote down that the silly parts were a negative. Like
Okay.
all the deaths were like super over the top, but everything else was relatively not like tame, but it
Standard?
wasn't as absurd. Yeah, it was pretty standard. But now that I think about it, I think that's actually a plus
Like-
because it felt cohesive.
Well, the silliness, you mean like the silliness of Stitches and the way he works?
Yeah, like when he kills that guy in the pantry and then he's like using his body as like a puppet. Like that's absurd. No one would ever believe that.
Yeah.
The umbrella through the eyeball thing was like ridiculous.
Yeah. I like that.
I got a real like Freddy Krueger vibe from the whole thing.
That's funny you mentioned that because I thought of that too at one point.
Has that 80s over the top mentality.
It's got a little 80s flair to it, but I feel like in the way he operated, I feel like that's something he kind of definitely felt like he took from. I feel it.
Yeah, ultimately I feel like it fit in. At first I was like, that takes it to like a place way beyond, but then they just really went for it, so it was acceptable.
Yeah.
I felt like so one of the first things that I wrote down, like the opening 10 minutes and then like the rest of the movie, it felt like two different movies a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Like the opening was very, very like rushed, it felt like. And then when they kept going back and forth between Tommy's reality and Tommy's like images of like Stitches again, it felt like two completely separate movies.
Yeah. No, they had different vibes, because the first vibe you get from the movie is Stitches, our main character, is like fucking a prostitute, like
In his trailer.
and it's making clown noises, and it's in front of his egg.
Is it a
His clown egg.
prostitute though? Because she was at his wake and funeral.
Oh, I don't know.
True.
That's true.
She
Maybe it was a
yelling,
girlfriend.
"Fuck me, clown."
All right. Okay. So maybe it was his girlfriend, and he lived in a mobile home on the edge of a cliff,
Yes.
which was pretty awesome.
And then he drove to this child's party with his feet
Yeah.
while smoking a joint and talking on the phone.
I still don't know how he was stepping on the gas.
Yeah. Yeah. And then he arrives at this place, calls the mom ugly, demands his pay, to which she obliges.
He
Worst
takes
clown of
more
all
money
time.
than he's entitled to.
Well, none of this would have happened if she just said no.
No.
That's true. Like, get out of here.
You
like,
look like
you're
a
late.
scary tramp.
You're late. You called me ugly. You demand your money up front. You're gonna have to leave.
Later.
Just based on appearance alone, she should have sent him away immediately.
That car,
Oh man, with the clown head.
awful.
And so he starts to put on his awful clown show, and none of the kids are buying it, and he's half-assing it, and I mean, he's just like a drunk, high, terrible clown.
I've never seen a clown that's actually good, like other than Bozo.
So it's Bozo, and then everyone else.
Everyone else,
Everyone else
they're
is
all
just
in
in
the
the
same
trash.
boat because they're awful.
Pennywise.
They're all in the same boat, so.
Pennywise
Oh,
is
Jesus.
awesome in the way that he's terrifying.
Yeah, but I mean, as far as a clown
But
goes,
that's
that's not
actually
the point.
something I really liked about that movie. I like that this movie created its own little like clown mythology,
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's
definitely cool.
a world of like traditions and like creepy clown background,
Like
history.
voodoo clowns.
And I agree with that because like I really like the in-depth details that Tom went into researching it all. Tom the character, not Tom the
Not me.
not
Not
the,
me.
not the
Tom
podcast.
knows so much about clowns, you guys.
But my one
Well, hold on, real quick. Tom is the character who
Main character.
The main character who it was his birthday party, and he was the one who accidentally caused the death ultimately.
so Tom did all that research on it, and then we see all of the different clown faces on the eggs, right? But one of the first things that I wrote down is his wife's girlfriend or prostitute
Yeah.
says the egg looks just like you, but it was just an egg with a smiley face on it. And I was like, it really doesn't.
It's a bit of a stretch.
And then there were all these much more detailed eggs. So I was like, oh, they could have amped up the egg painting a little bit more on his egg
True.
Yeah.
versus everybody else's.
It was a really simple egg, and there were some really like
Maybe
complex
there's
ones.
supposed to be like a correlation between how he was a really fucking shitty clown and he couldn't even be bothered to make
Shouldn't
his
have even
own
been in
egg.
the cult then.
That's good.
That's true.
Well, yeah, and that's what I don't understand. Also, what's the correlation between eggs and clowns? Like what is that? Like, is that something that I missed?
Did you miss when they talked about it in the movie?
Maybe.
Yeah, he was saying that they make every clown when they join paint an
Play an
egg that
egg.
looks like them.
Yeah, I know that.
And
It represents their being.
Their unique
clown
personality.
Their
Yeah.
inner yoke.
Yeah. No, yeah, but
it
that
had
was
a really cool Latin name. It was like Particularum
Yeah.
something.
Particularm egamus.
no, I just didn't.
Yes,
I just didn't know
exactly.
what made the egg the significant thing. You know, that's what I was.
Because
curious
it's
about.
white, probably.
Yeah?
And, like, yeah.
It's plain and
Clown
unborn.
makeup.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. I guess.
Yeah.
Make it your own.
How they
Yeah.
roll, Tom.
Fair. Anything else? Any other positive notes to this movie that we enjoyed?
Like, I don't. I have very few negatives, to be honest with you. So most of the things that I wrote down were pretty positive. I really like that pimple to egg transition.
Oh, that's good.
I wrote down pretty cool scene transitions.
Yeah, with the sunny side up egg being fried in the pan
Yeah.
right as the pimple was about to pop. the splat noise it made was disgusting.
Perfect, yeah.
It was perfect.
And I don't really, I thought I was gonna dislike one kill, but I think I liked them all.
Yeah. Wait, which kill did you think you were gonna dislike? Or
I thought I was gonna dislike the one where the camera kid, because
That was so
he pulls
over the
out
top.
he pulls out the intestines, and then the kid's holding his own intestines, and I was like, no, absolutely not. But then his head pops, and I'm like, I'm in.
Yeah, that's true because that was really cool. I mean, okay, so
Intestine balloon animal.
Yeah.
we want to go over our cast of characters. You just want to go over the death scenes now, or do we want to wait for favorite parts for that? Because we can just put that in successes. Because I was going to say that the death scenes
Every single death scene was
like a positive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
None of them were phoned in.
Yeah, I felt like they took their time with each person's particular death scene, which was supposed to call back, I think, to the torment that Stitches got when he was a kid. He was trying to give that back to them in some way, because I feel like a couple times it had flashed back to his memory of what happened to him on that day,
Yeah.
as they were all treating him like shit, and he was using that to kill them again. I thought that was kind of cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Anyone?
On that note, I thought the practical effects were great
Yeah.
because they had practical effects.
Yeah, agreed.
And I know I'm going to rail some more on that movie that I can't remember the name of.
Lost After Dark?
Lost After Dark. There we go.
Yeah.
Which was a movie that billed itself as an 80s throwback. And, the more I watch this, the more I realize this is far more of an 80s throwback than that movie ever was. And this didn't bill itself as that.
Yeah.
It had the practical effects where they should have used them. There was some rough CGI in some points, but they used it in places where it's like, okay, whatever. We don't really care that the bubbles out of his mouth aren't real, even though it looked lousy.
Yeah.
That's not the part. That's not the one I'm excited about when it comes to practical effects.
Yeah.
That's a really good point. Yeah.
Agreed.
I thought like the soundtrack had like a very 80s like soundtracky vibe.
Yeah.
Like it kind of reminded me a little bit of like Halloween, like that sort of sense. Just the presentation, the flow, but it was still like modernized. Like the cast of characters weren't just yanked directly out of the 80s. Like they felt like they belonged in 2012.
Yeah, I felt like they were believable.
Yeah, I liked all the characters in the movie. I thought that they did a good job once again, just kind of laying down our, kind of normal cast of characters and making us care about them
Yeah.
in their situation.
Beyond like the horror absurdity, which was great, I feel like it was really easy to relate to like what was happening with them.
Yeah, it was good. It was good enough to.
Well, I feel like the dialogue was genuinely funny, besides like the horror comedy aspect.
The one-liners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very dry.
Yeah.
The other success that I think that we talked about right after it was the reversal of like the killer doing everything that he shouldn't do, and then all of the people trying to get away from the killer were doing everything they should do. Like there was no like if we saw it in theaters, we wouldn't be yelling to run the other way. There was none of that. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. I think they kind of reversed everything on that.
Yeah, there was a part where they throw a blanket on Stitches and kick the shit out of him. I was like, that's a perfect plan.
I'd do that.
You didn't do anything wrong.
But then later when he's chasing them, he's like walking on like a telephone wire, like all fucking around.
Or the perfect example for me was like picking up the tricycle.
Yeah.
Why do you pick up the tricycle and run with it? No, catch up to them.
Yeah. I liked all the clown gags that they did. All the sound effects that they put in that were like super clown sound effects for when he did stuff was awesome. They played that up in the perfect way. Like it was just, and what's the guy's name? Ross Noble, who played the clown.
Yeah.
I'm not really familiar with his other stuff, but I mean, I thought he just brought this whole movie to like a different level by being such a good over the top and like disgusting clown.
Yeah, he was wicked disgusting.
Yeah, he was awesome. And I mean, it's funny because we were looking up photos of him, and I was like, man, he kind of looks like Tiny Tim. And I was like, and we just watched that movie Blood Harvest with Tiny Tim, and he kind of looks like him. And like, now we can talk about two clown movies. And this was definitely a better one.
Where the stars look the same.
Yeah.
I also liked all of Stitch's really bad jokes.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
puns.
They all
so
fit.
good.
Yeah, they all
Perfect kill
fit.
puns.
Never thought I'd have egg on my face. Oh my god, this is so bad. It's great.
Yeah. And this was shot in Ireland, right? I'm not sure we mentioned that. So yeah, that was pretty cool because it's kind of like you can respect some of the cultural differences. Like they said some stuff as if it were insults that I was like, I'm not quite sure I get that, but okay. I know it's supposed
Yeah,
to be
me
bad. So
I'm like, I don't know what that word means.
oh well, I know it's a bad thing. I know that much because a jerk said it.
He's got a nasty earring.
Yeah. Anything else? Any other positives we want to throw out there? Or I mean, does anyone have anything negative about the movie whatsoever? I know you had talked about it kind of walking the line of its silliness.
Yeah,
and-
but ultimately, I think that was worked in its favor. Like it stayed true to the attitude of the movie, I feel.
yeah.
But one thing I didn't like, and you mentioned it while we were watching it, was the nose. I just thought that was kind of silly.
Yeah.
The nose
Like
was
that
pretty
was like the silliest. Well,
Like-
maybe not the silliest, but
It was unnecessarily silly.
yeah.
Like this nose that would like basically do like just look around for him and he would
Yeah,
kinda-
he would like take it off and it would just roll around
it would
and
sniff out
like
where he's
report
going,
back.
and he would just be there ready to put it back on.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of
Didn't need it.
Some of it, like doing things just to do it, were kind of weird too. Like doing the ice cream scoop of the brains.
Yeah.
Like nothing ever came of that.
Well, it was the callback because didn't that kid throw ice cream at him to knock his skeleton down? So he was
Oh, okay.
making ice cream of his brain.
Yeah,
That's fair.
And also, that killed him. It was a
did.
means to an end.
he was
It did.
It did.
arguably the strawberry filling that he was eating out of cans could have killed him.
Yeah.
He ate like 4
He
cans.
ate too many cans.
That's way
this
too
guy.
many preserves.
Yeah, that's a lot. Then he got his head opened like a can opener, and then his brain scooped out like ice cream.
So ridiculous.
Which, yeah, well, if that's what you're displaying, then that's like a different total vibe. Like I can get everything they're throwing at me if I can buy that part, you know, and I totally bought it.
I think my least favorite kill was probably the first one.
Which was the first one? Oh,
Clown kid.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
That seemed like a very more standard.
It was very
Kill.
tame for.
I don't know.
compared
It
to
was
the
pretty
rest
cool
of
when he
them.
kicked his head off. And it
That was
floating in the water.
that was an
That was
excellent
pretty
80s style
funny.
kill.
Yeah.
Like
I actually really liked the shot where it landed in the water, and I couldn't tell if that was like CGI and
Practical?
yeah.
I did write this down. Did he get superhuman clown strength? Because like he was literally tearing that guy apart
Oh, yeah.
with just
think
him.
so.
It wasn't anything else.
Well, I think at this point, that now that he's risen from the dead, that he is supernatural. Just like super everything.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's the impression that I got.
That's fair, but like I feel like he could have done a better job on some of those other kills. In that case,
that's fair too. That's fair.
I'm trying to remember the other kills. So we have clown guy who gets his ear ripped off, gets his arm ripped off, gets his head kicked off.
Yeah. Well, what I really
And they pull a rabbit out of his throat.
yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah,
I was
that's
what I
right.
particularly liked about that scene was like he like punched down his mouth and pulled a rabbit out because he's like, oh, you got your hair in your throat, and then put his fucking thing down, pulled out a rabbit, and like I was like, ha, awesome.
Oh, we got to
Because
see
now
it,
he's a good clown.
We get to see her great reverse tear on that shot too.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, and so the other death was the can opener, opening the
opener
scalp
brains.
with the ice cream scoop. There was the umbrella through the back of the skull coming out through the
best
eye,
Yeah.
that's
which was fantastic because the eye goes in there, right? And then she hits the ground, and that pushes the umbrella further out of her skull. The eye falls off the top into her mouth.
well.
The
and
umbrella
the umbrella
pops open.
and the blood goes everywhere.
Sprays blood everywhere.
And the umbrella pops open,
And
blood
then-
goes over the whole.
Yeah, that
and
was
then
really
the eye in
good.
the mouth was just icing on the cake.
Yeah.
There were
That's
like
right.
3 dots on those eyes.
That was excellent. I love that effect of the umbrella opening and all the blood going everywhere.
That was good.
Yeah, that was like a good idea. Whoever thought of that one.
They accomplished a lot with very little, if you think about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Were
like
they
that.
the only ones that died?
There was the guy that got his intestines cut out and then his
Yeah.
head
And then
inflated.
his head inflated.
That was, I think.
That was gross.
Yeah.
I thought that was really good.
That's the one that really made me think of like Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
Like
I feel you. I almost thought you said Nightmare on Elmo's Street.
that has to be something somewhere.
And
Let's check my list of ROM hacks right now. It's got to be.
Oh, yeah, we
Ernie
didn't
Smith
mention that Stitch's name was Richard Grindle.
oh yeah, Dick Grindle. I don't know why.
Good old Dick Grindle.
I don't know why that's funny, but it is.
Everybody's happy.
I mean, I guess this is kind of blending into one. This was good. That's our favorite part, kind of thing. But I mean,
I don't have much negative to say about this movie, really.
No, I
Yeah.
didn't take a whole lot of notes either. I was just enjoying watching it. So.
yeah. I mean, there were a couple times where I thought that it was doing the vulgar thing for the sake of being vulgar, but then I was like, nah, I like it.
Like the dick balloon in the classroom.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, my
that
God.
was kind of like walking a fine line there.
Yeah.
But other than that, though, like it really didn't feel too terrible because they only showed one nipple.
They did. They took a picture of a nipple.
Took a picture of a nipple. Everything else was kind of like, other than the
I
dick
don't
balloon
remember
thing.
a nipple pic.
There was, yeah.
It was
Kinda shoehorned
It was
in.
in his camera.
At the party, yeah.
Must have been looking
He was
away.
looking through.
But, yeah. Do we want to talk about the end of the movie then? Or do we have any other like favorite parts? in
I do.
particular?
I have a couple actual favorite parts.
Yeah,
All right.
I was
going
gonna
to
say, I
I was
do
trying to
have-
hold off.
One more success.
Okay.
I thought the actors in this movie were pretty good. They actually cast what appeared to be like high school age actors, if not slightly older. Whereas, we usually get slashers where like 30-year-olds play high schoolers, and it's really weird. But for actors of that age, they were very good. They were very believable. I felt they filled their roles excellently. And it just made me sink into this movie a lot better than most other slashers do, where I don't believe the actors playing those characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I feel like everyone was having fun making it. Everyone wanted to be there and make this really fun, wacky movie, and was really excited to go through the whole production.
Yeah, and I don't feel like we ended up with like any redundant characters.
Yeah.
Like, which is a big issue I have with a lot of slashers, where you just have characters that are there to be there, and most of the time they're the main character. But the main character in this had like legitimate like psychoses, and he had like, you kind of got the sense that he was actually a troubled teenager.
Yeah.
Whereas most other movies, the main character is just some white bread motherfucker. I don't give a shit about.
Yeah. But yeah, we can talk about favorite parts.
Favorites.
We don't have a favorite parts drop.
Well, I just gave it to you.
Oh,
Probably
It's so exciting.
Get one.
all right. We should do one. All right. Tyler?
Okay, you clowns.
I got a few. So I really liked a few lines. Like the one where I think they're changing the whole name to Dan.
Oh yeah.
That was just a great line. Such a douchebag line.
Yeah, this is the boyfriend of our main character's love interest in the movie.
Blowjob Kate.
Yeah.
Most
I don't-
that's a failure.
Most unoriginal
Blowjob Kate.
nickname ever.
Yeah, so our main character's love interest, Kate, which is was at the birthday party, and she kissed him at the birthday party, so he's like had a crush on her for like 6 years. Yeah, they call her Blowjob Kate, and it doesn't make any sense.
No, it's
That is
very.
a terrible nickname high schoolers would get to someone else, though.
Well, at first, I just thought that redheaded girl was being a bitch and just saying that people called her that, and I was like, "That's the best you can come up with." And then like somebody else mentioned it, and I was like, "Oh, they really call her that? Like that's so fucking pathetic."
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I just thought that.
I really loved the airhead part. I thought that was great. I thought it looked really great, and I couldn't tell if it was CG or practical, but
I think it was real.
the little blooper at the end made me believe that it was a practical effect, and I thought it looked really cool.
Yeah, I think some parts were probably added to, but I think most of that was done practical. Definitely all
Yeah.
the explosions
It
that
looked
they
so
did.
distorted and like creepy and gross.
I think when the head explodes, they probably did something like scanners.
Yeah,
Filled the balloon with like pig guts or whatever and blew it up with a shotgun.
yeah, that makes sense because they did that kind of shot a couple times where they just shot like kind of in a big black area with a backlight.
Yeah.
And then just exploded some practical effects, which was a pretty cool effect in itself.
Straight out of Cronenberg movie.
What was the name of the preserves kid?
Oh, Bulger.
Bulger, yeah.
Bulger. Yeah,
He was like the best character.
he was the best character. He had a pretty good slam. He did "You're easier than a 2-year community college." I thought that was pretty good. And then, of course, the umbrella death scene. That has to be my ultimate favorite part.
Yeah, I think I'm with you with the umbrella death scene as being my ultimate favorite part.
Top notch.
I really liked that shot where the kid in the clown suit, Paul,
Yep.
Yes.
when he goes up to use the bathroom and he walks by the room and Stitches is walking through the other doorway like at the exact same time. It's like such a perfectly mirrored shot, and it's like so creepy.
Yeah. And then he peeks back out at the end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I appreciated that. Also, when Kate headbutted that redheaded girl, I thought that was pretty funny.
Nice headbutt. I've always wanted to headbutt somebody.
Yeah, right.
Always
Like
wanted
that
to
just
try
seems
it.
like a badass thing to just whip out at any given moment.
It's gonna hurt.
No one sees the headbutt coming though.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think it's gonna hurt you, but I think it's gonna hurt them more.
Yeah.
And then BFF Vinny gets hit in the head with a beer can and falls, and I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah,
It was like a perfect like thunk.
Some quality physical comedy in this movie.
yeah,
Yeah, I appreciated it.
yeah. All the physical bits. So, I think my overall favorite part is just the extra little bit of clown stuff they put in for Stitches during the course of the whole movie. Just like the shot of him scampering off screen. It's like a shot of his clown shoes. And
Just like shuffling.
just like shuffling off. He's just
Feet akimbo.
yeah. He's like it's just a great character having a ton of fun, and I think Ross Noble did a great job of just showing up and wanting to have such a good time being Stitches that everyone else just had a blast. It just seemed so it was such a big character
Agreed.
and such a good one to follow for a movie like this. Because I mean, some of the kids were kind of pricks.
Oh,
to him,
majorly.
like
Paul and I can't remember that redheaded girl's name.
Sarah.
Sarah were the worst. I was like, I can't wait
They
for
were
them
dicks.
to die.
and like, you know, they were kids when they did all this terrible stuff. So I mean, they were like 10-year-olds, so they really had no accountability whatsoever.
I mean, they were all dicks when they were kids, but then most of them grew out of it.
Yeah, most of them grew out of it, but yeah, he's seeking vengeance on these dick kids. Who some of them are changed now, but he's still going after them, which is kind of a scary a scary element to this.
Stitches riding the tricycle just cracks me up. It's like a little kid's tricycle, and he's a full grown-ass clown man just riding a tricycle, chasing after these, teenagers on bicycles, and he can't catch up. So he just gets off the tricycle, picks the tricycle up, and takes it with him, and then just starts running after them faster.
I thought that was pretty great.
Those little extra beats like that were fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, the fucking like principal.
Oh man,
With his
The
hair.
principal's hair was the worst thing I've ever seen. It was just like like someone snipped a lock of hair and then just glued it flat. Oh, it was so bad.
yeah, that was
I
wicked
loved
gross.
It made his character repulsive.
Yeah. He was gross. Another one of my favorite parts is I would say the death scene when they finally best Stitches.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was great.
I think that they
Definitely.
did such a good job with that. Tyler, I know you eat 7 eggs every morning for breakfast,
I do.
and this kind of grossed you out a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think I can eat eggs for a while. There was like a consistent egg theme throughout this movie, which is kind of strange.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, well, what's clown and egg? I want to know.
I don't think in real life there is any correlation.
Well, I'd like one.
Well, maybe all clowns are actually eggs.
Maybe the secret
That's a good theory,
society
Tyler.
does exist.
Yeah. Well,
Because, I mean... All right, I was thinking about this during this movie. Let me ask you guys a question.
okay.
I'm ready to answer him.
All right, so we know Bozo is truly the only, like, unless you want to include Ronald McDonald. I don't. Because I don't think he's a legitimate clown. But Bozo is a legitimate clown who is successful. Have you ever met a clown that is successful or happy in any way? Because I never have.
I don't think I've ever met a clown, period.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I've ever met a clown.
Or you mean like on like a famous
Yeah.
standard?
Like a famous clown, like he plays
Or
Vegas.
or even like in every single movie, there's no such thing as a clown that is okay with their life.
Yeah,
They're
I
never
mean,
portrayed as that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, my closest reference for a clown is Krusty the Clown, and he's miserable.
Yeah. They just all feel miserable. So
I mean, we all can't get kids.
maybe they are
shoes.
all are eggs on the inside, like rotten eggs.
It's a
Yeah,
terrifying art form. I don't understand it.
Yeah, no, it's very strange, but I mean, it's supposed to be fun, but people just find it scary.
Everyone is just scared of you.
I know.
Yeah.
I know when you show I mean, I don't know how often it happens, but like a modern day birthday clown comes to your party, you know that 50% of your audience is going to be terrified of you.
Including the adults.
I wonder what the ratio of people being terrified of clowns were pre John Wayne Gacy and pre Stephen King's It.
That's a good question. I wonder if there's like
Like,
data
did people
on
just
that.
think they were charming?
Well, even in medieval times, though, they were considered like fodder. You know,
Yeah.
they were the lower class that had to be funny in order to step in front of the king. When you think about it,
Yeah.
think of
good point.
a jester is basically a clown, and
Yeah.
they were nothing. They were purely fodder.
That doesn't make you creepy by default.
No, but it makes you looked upon in a negative light.
You're an
Favorable
undesirable.
manner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to dress silly and make dick jokes in order to bring yourself up in line.
Exactly.
I know. That's sad and tough. That's a tough life.
Yeah.
So I kind of
My
actually,
heart goes out to all the clowns.
I do empathize with some clowns.
Yeah. I can buy that. But the death scene at the end when Stitches dies and his egg breaks. He breaks his own egg and he says his egg on his face line. And then what's really gross is that he starts to explode and kind of be full of egg. He's like a big egg. And he's just like breaking into yolks and it's just bursting out of his fingertips and
Much
out of his
yolk.
head and just yolks everywhere and he's breaking into shells just like his egg.
Yeah, it's like
Yolks everywhere.
foamy white and yellow.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Just
And-
like yolk pouring out of his ears.
Yeah.
That was really
It was
gross.
gross. He tried to like shut it too.
You gotta keep my yolk
Hold
in.
it in. I gotta keep the yolk in. Ugh, that was weird.
effectively disgusting.
And they definitely left this open for a sequel.
Yes, they did.
But I wonder if they're going to make one.
I don't know, maybe. They totally could because, spoiler alert, if we haven't already spoiled the end of the movie for you, they're the main voodoo clown guy who's living in the graveyard is putting Stitches' egg back together.
He's stitching it back together.
While getting a blowjob too. Don't
He is
forget.
he is getting a blowjob from someone who kind of looked like Blowjob Kate,
But it wasn't blowjob.
but it wasn't.
The
And that's
clown
weird.
equivalent.
Maybe it was cup the balls clown Kate.
Yeah, specifically that could be it. If we're all out of favorite parts and we don't have anything negative to say about this movie, really, would we like to rate it?
I'm down to rate.
So let's rate it then.
Yeah, I'm going to go with
Yeah,
fuck
I'm gonna
you.
have to give it an unfortunate fuck off.
Oh my god, my fucking father.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
All right, let's rate Stitches 2012 slasher movie from Ireland. What are we gonna rate it, guys?
I give it a fuck yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I also give it a fuck yeah.
I'm gonna fuck yeah.
Well, what does Tyler have to say?
Well, I mean, we have a potential.
I'll squeak it in.
Well, you can give whatever you want.
I don't ever see myself watching it again.
All right.
That's why I don't necessarily think I'll give it a fuck yeah. But I will give it a fucking good.
All right.
Fucking good.
Fucking good. It's just not something I will watch again. That's all. I
Sure.
would recommend this to a lot of people.
Yeah.
For sure, yeah.
Awesome.
It's fucking weird.
Yeah, I loved it. I feel like it had great practical effects, like great dialogue, great characters, great over the top gore, and like nothing was compromised for integrity of story. And vice versa.
Yeah. Yep.
Like it's not like they were like, all right, we're putting all our eggs in this basket.
Oh,
It was like evenly balanced. Oh, sorry, egg jokes.
nice one.
Oh, I always apologize for egg jokes.
I think if there was a part where I was like truly frightened at any moment, I'd give it a fuck yeah, but I really wasn't.
Yeah, because it didn't go. I mean, this is totally comedy first and most
Horror
horror
third.
Yeah.
Beyond that, like one shot where he's walking by in the background, like nothing was even really like creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really comedy
Yeah.
and gore.
Everything was played for light joke.
Yeah,
not scares.
it almost felt like a loose parody of like an 80s slasher.
Yeah.
Which I can appreciate. It doesn't bill itself that way, but I think that's what they were going for.
Yeah. Well, they just use that as like the easy way to display this kind of thing, I think. Yeah. I'm going to give it a fuck yeah. So for all the reasons that we've talked about this entire time.
Same here. I like that it created its own mythology. It set up its own slasher character that we got to know over the course of the movie instead of getting like, I hate to keep going back to that movie, Lost After Dark.
Got it.
Got
There
it.
you go.
That movie gave us a very forgettable villain with a very forgettable end of that character, and it just completely slipped. I can't even remember the name of the movie every time I try to say it.
Yeah, no, it's tough.
Stitches was a very memorable character. He had a very memorable setup, and he did a lot of memorable things. And I think that's kind of important for a slasher movie. You know, you think about Freddy Krueger or Jason Voorhees, and that's why they're so memorable and so iconic, is that they do things that deserve being memorable and iconic. And Stitches, I think, is the same way. And if he came out back in the 80s, we would be talking about Stitches Part 9, talking about how terrible it is and why does it take place in space.
That's so true.
Now, what other What other clown movies do we know of or could compare it to as far as like killer clowns? Because I mean, I've
Blood
seen
Harvest.
Blood Harvest. I mean, I've watched the Killjoys. There's 2 Killjoy movies that are like asylum insane clown pictures.
Didn't
What's
we
the new
watch one
ICP?
with Clint Howard?
Oh,
Or was that the ice cream
that's
man?
that was an
Ice
ice
Cream
cream
Man.
man. That's close to a clown. You
That's
like him
real-
better
Well,
because
no,
he gives you
That's
ice cream.
real close.
And then there's that We All Scream for Ice Cream, which is about a clown that serves ice cream.
Maybe that's the one I was thinking of.
I think
then.
that's what you were thinking of, because that's William Forsythe.
Oh, that one's sad.
That one's wicked sad. I feel so bad for that clown.
I know.
Like, I don't know. I'm just trying to think like how many clowns I can compare Stitches
It.
to.
I was gonna say it.
Yeah.
Even though it's a monster disguised as a clown.
Yeah, but that's still a clown.
Yeah. Tim Curry, you're the master of terrifying clowns.
Any final thoughts on Stitches, guys?
Thumbs up.
Final thoughts before we wrap it up? We're going to recommend this movie if we haven't.
Yeah.
It's been recommended to us. We're going to pay it forward.
Thanks, Uncle Ben.
It's just a really good horror movie that I don't think a lot of people have seen, and I think that is a shame.
Yeah.
I've never heard anyone talk about this movie aside from us, so
Interesting.
Ditto.
I would definitely like to promote this as something that any slasher fan should watch.
Yeah. Well, we have it on DVD, and we got it for like $3 at FYE.
Yep.
So that was a steal.
So support Stitches. Support Irish filmmaking.
All right, so that's it.
I wonder if this guy's done anything else we should look into.
Who, the director?
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure I recall his name, but yeah. IMDb is at our fingertips. At any given moment. We can look it up. I wonder. I don't know. I know Ross Noble has done a couple of things, but like this is like his acting thing. He said maybe he'd do more. I don't know.
Is he like a stand-up comic?
I think so. I think he's just a general funny guy. I'm not quite sure. Like I said, I haven't really seen anything else by him. I vaguely looked him up on the internet.
His business card says general funny guy.
Hey, it's actually, isn't that the job of a clown? I don't know. But yeah, that's it, guys. We're done.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Happy October.
No, we're not that done. We gotta say a bunch of names and stuff. We gotta thank Tyler. We gotta talk about Horror Movie Month again. We got 3 things to do before we close out.
That's a lot of things, Tom.
I don't know.
Do
What
we
do
have
you
time
What
for
do you
that?
want to start with? You want to start with thanking Tyler?
Thanks, Tyler.
Tyler.
Hey,
Tyler.
Thank you guys
It's
for
always a
having me
pleasure
on.
to have you.
I like being here and drinking and
And watching,
watching and talking
about it.
about these movies.
I feel like you've gotten lucky because every movie we've done that we've had you on for has been
good.
really tolerable at
Yeah,
worst.
Worst, yeah.
Yep.
I think the worst thing we've watched you do was like Surf Ninjas.
I don't know, man.
You really like Surf Ninjas?
No, I think the worst thing was definitely Three
Three
Ninjas.
Ninjas.
That
We
movie
just
was
happened
excellent.
to like
No.
be okay with it.
That
enjoyed
movie's
it all.
great.
No, I mean
You don't want to watch Die Hard for Kids starring Ernest?
No, it was. I rated it higher than Surf Ninjas.
We
but
did-
Surf Ninjas is a
Tom and
better
I both,
movie.
Yeah, Tom and I both rated Three Ninjas higher than Surf Ninjas.
We all did.
But Surf Ninjas was
Clearly.
much better movie. Honestly,
better movie.
Hold up. If you took Rob Schneider out of Surf Ninjas and put him in Three Ninjas,
Ooh,
we all would have liked Surf Ninjas way better.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I feel like even Leslie Nielsen didn't need to be in
that's true. That
Like,
is
I wish we
weird.
could swap him and Hulk Hogan.
Oh, you just made both movies way better.
You really did with one small maneuver.
Slam!
Go back to 1995. What's your idea? You'll change movie history.
Oh, man.
Imagine Leslie Nielsen and Lonnie Anderson.
Yes, that I can imagine.
Leslie Nielsen going down a zip line with nunchucks.
That would have been way better. Or he could have been her accomplice, and Ernest could have been the fucking bad guy. I mean, good guy.
That's also an option.
Because Ernest is a great good guy.
Yeah, but he's not action hero Hulk Hogan
Well, obviously, but neither is Leslie.
or comedy hero Leslie Nielsen.
Comedy hero.
That's a little far.
Comedy contributor Leslie Nielsen.
He saved comedy from a burning building. Actually. All right, so that's the thank you, Tyler part done.
We talked about
One down, two to go.
movies.
All right, so let's talk about where else we can be. So
You're fucking everywhere, guys.
we're everywhere.
I hate to break it to you.
We're on, but you can listen to us on iTunes and Stitcher and TuneIn and secondclasscinema.com. And you can talk to us on Twitter and Instagram, too.
Or if you see us on the street, say hi.
And give us $10 in an envelope.
Well, of course. You should always have that on hand in case you run into us.
I feel like you guys should be like constantly doing your show. Like, so if somebody were to bump into you on the street, you're just talking. They're
just
about
be
to
on
rate
the show.
something. You're eating a hot dog and you're like, this is fucking weak. That's my grade.
Let's rate it.
That's the Boston hot dog diagnosis. That's something different. And what's the third thing on the list is we are currently
Halloween
in
month.
Halloween horror movie month for October. We're just going to keep it real simple. Watch horror movies all month.
Do you guys have a song for it?
I recommended tweaking our intro song.
Second class.
I can add some spooky reverb.
Get like a theremin in
That's
there,
the
maybe.
Tom Jones version of Second Class Cinema.
I can spookify it. I'll try.
Throw some bats on that some bitch. Slap
There
it
you go.
sideways and stick it straight up somebody's candy ass. And you're good, Tom.
Yeah, I can do that. I think I can arrange something.
Yeah, we definitely have some double features planned.
Yeah, we got some good stuff we want to watch. We want to watch a lot.
Yeah.
So
Trying to get in a lot of episodes.
So maybe we'll take a day out of a weekend, try and do like a couple at once. You know.
I can
We
live
should
with
watch
that.
more Neil Breen movies. Those are pretty scary.
Whoa!
I feel like they kill my appreciation for film.
Well, that's not true. Sorry, Neil. Good night.
Isn't it though?
I said good night.
Good night.
All right. All right.
Babe, you're just a pigeon in a tacky frock.
Bitch, I didn't even want to talk to you. Poodle face.
Babe, you're easier to get into than community college, so just leave.
Fuck you.
Fuck you, Sarah. Oh, wait, the whole party already has.
Everybody happy?